Yo, how we doing? Trevor Burke checking in. Wanted to make a video for you guys. It was one that kind of hit me and wanted to make just a short little video about it. And it's the decisions or the moves that'll prove to be most beneficial for your life. Won't always feel like the easy choice. Okay? Now, a lot of times we have hard decisions we have to make. And, it's tough because, if we have to, sever a relationship, maybe you have so many memories, so many things connecting you with this person, it may be tough, no shit, or, you may have to make a career change and you've been in the same career for years. What am I going to do? I don't know everything. I don't know anyone in that field. Or maybe you're moving to a new town, a new place, moving out of your hometown. You're like, I don't know anyone. What am I going to do? These are all decisions, just that I share that, just they came to my mind as big pivotal decisions. They never felt easy. So when I saw that quote, I was like, boom, that resonates with me. Okay, and I believe that if it resonates with me, it may resonate with other people. So that's kind of why I make these videos. And I feel like I saw another one that was so powerful because I feel like a lot of people, especially with social media and just kind of where we're at in the world, a lot of people are depressed. Okay, but I want you to realize you're not depressed. You've only lost your quest. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, I feel like we all have a quest. We all have a grand vision for our lives. We all have a purpose. Okay, and to my men out there, and I always say it with my buddies, I'm like, get on your purpose. Okay, if they're complaining about anything, rarely does that happen because I don't like to associate with complainers. But if they're kind of like just bitching like this, that, and the other, I'm like, get on your purpose. Okay, your purpose. I feel like we all have a vision. We all have a quest. We all have something we're meant to go out and figure out. Okay, so that's different for everyone. So if you're in a spot where you're not making decisions, or you're faced with these tough decisions, rather than doing what most people do, and I've definitely done this myself, which is you're faced with a tough decision, and rather than making the tough decision, you just kind of bookmark it. Okay, you put it off. Okay, or you're just scared and you don't want to face the reality of what that decision means. Okay, wherever you're at, whether it's one of those, don't do that. And if you've already done that, it's okay. You can revisit that decision. But one thing I've realized is if you don't make a decision quick, okay, and you kind of just leave it up to chance, you let it go with the flow, okay, what usually tends to happen? Not what you want. Okay, maybe sometimes it does, but most of the time, it's not what you want. So realizing that you have a superpower, you have a power to make decisions, to really sever off everything that you don't want in your life. You have the decision to choose, you know what, this is the type of lady I want. She's gonna have this type of hair, these beliefs, this type of energy, boom, boom, boom. You can describe your ideal woman right here, okay? You can describe the ideal occupation. You can describe the ideal life. You can describe the ideal spiritual, emotional, financial, physical, okay, beliefs. You can describe it all, okay? And your quest, a lot of people that are depressed, they're not depressed. They just lost their quest. And I believe we all have a quest. We all have an area of genius, okay? It's our natural inclinations. When you were younger, okay, you naturally were drawn to different things. I saw this reel the other day. There was a girl, she was saying, I got the ick, okay? And she was talking to her one friend, and she was like, yeah, I got the ick. And she's like, oh, what did he do? And she's like, yeah, I got the ick where I was at his house, and, he said he had a guitar, and I said, oh, you have a guitar? I want to hear you play the guitar. And he's like, okay. He goes to his closet, dusts off the guitar, gets it out, starts playing, and he's really, really good. And she's like, oh, this is awesome. And you would think like, oh, guy plays guitar, girls love music, boom, that should be a turn on. No, because then he followed up with this. She's like, oh, you should do more of this. You're super good. And he goes, yeah, well, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a musician. And he had this kind of sad aura. And she told her friend, like, yeah, that gave me the ick. And I instantly knew why. It's like, dude, if you don't go after what you want, you're never going to attract the people that are meant to be on your journey. Okay, if you don't have ambition, okay, you're just going to be a drifter, and you're going to attract, things that aren't in harmony with who you are, and nothing is more alive, and nothing is more, invigorating and attractive than someone who is on their journey, who is on their quest. So it makes sense, if you're depressed, you're not on your quest. And if you are on your quest, you won't have time to be depressed. You'll be so focused, so invigorated, so curious, so drawn to the thing that's meant to you. The person you're meant to become will be so goddamn just right in your face. It'll just be nagging at you. You won't have time to be distracted because it's your quest. You're meant to do that. So wherever you're at, you're faced with a tough decision. Good. Okay? Struggles financially, struggles relationships, okay? Tough decisions, family struggles, going through it mentally. Good. Okay? These are all good things. Because think about it. Problems, okay? Problems are a blessing. Problems are a sign that you're alive. Okay? Because the person with no problems, they're dead. They're not alive. They don't have any problems anymore. Okay? Because they're dead. Okay, I ranted enough, but ultimately you guys get the gist, and I hope this helps. I really do. I hope it helps, and thank you guys for rocking with me. But you guys know what to do. Carry on.